What is resource therapy? There are a number of different types of therapy, but resource therapy would have to be my first choice. It is quick and effective and can have results in every session. It is also suitable for nearly everything. The basis of resource therapy is working in the subconscious to realign the parts of the mind. What are these parts? The parts make up our personality or self. Our experiences create the parts. They may be different voices, actions, or feelings. For example, a voice could be a reporter part that complains about other aspects of the self. I hate it when I drink. The action part can be a protector part that reacts when you're in danger or upset. The feelings part can be the sense of anger, frustration, love, joy, confidence, and strength. As a child has experiences, parts are created in the mind. These are attached to the memories of our experiences and stored as part of our personality. Some are positive and become our resources, for example, confidence. Others are negative and hold our pain and suffering, for example, fear. You could think of it as programming. Emotions can be expressed in many ways. Anger for some people may be expressed as rage, whilst others may suppress their anger and internalize it. Anger is on a sliding scale depending upon the situation. It can be mild frustration through to a violent outburst. People who manage their anger use the appropriate amount to express their feelings. They may politely protest, walk away, or explode if in danger. But some people may not have learned the potential ways to express healthy anger. Each of those levels of response to anger is a part. One part could be the part that feels frustrated. Another part could be the part that goes into a rage. If we don't develop the right parts, we do not know how to respond in the right way at the right time. Our feelings and behaviours form from childhood experiences, and we often hold on to them throughout our adult life. This can form dysfunctional behaviours and mental health issues. There are many protector parts that step in to take over when we feel anxious or afraid. Some are functional, whilst others are dysfunctional. Addictions are dysfunctional protector parts that step in when we feel anxious and distract us from our anxiety. For example, drinking, comfort eating, gambling are all actions that will distract us from our anxiety and allow temporary relief. There are also nurturer parts that support and care for us. This is the reassuring voice or feeling of comfort when we do well or feel loved. The nurturer parts tell us we are loved, wanted, and help us to feel strong, confident, and brave. But not everyone had this kind of support in their childhood, and they have never felt that comfort of being loved. They may feel shame, guilt, and the critical voice never ceases from telling them they are not good enough, unlovable, unworthy. You can often trace the origin of the parts back to a person or experience in childhood, when these parts were first forming. Over time, the parts make up the person, their memories, and belief system. But this programming can be changed when you understand the source of the parts and realign them into a healthy mindset. When I do resource therapy with a client, I picture it as walking into a room full of people. They were all hired by the person, but many of them were not given job descriptions or assigned to the correct roles. The process is working with the parts that are causing the issue and helping them to find their correct role. Other parts who are not active may need to be called in to assist. For example, the cleaner may be doing the reception role, whilst the receptionist is sitting in the background watching and waiting for someone to ask them to take over. When asked, they're happy to do the job and can do it quite effectively. They may also want the security person to assist as protector in case anyone causes trouble. The security person is happy to do this, as the office clerk has been doing this until now, and they were getting very upset and stressed trying to manage security. In the mind, one part is in the lead. For example, they have the reception role of greeting people. But if it is shy, shy is not good at greeting people, and so we have to bring in confidence or extrovert to be able to greet people. You can see that the wrong parts can be in place, taking the lead, while the other parts are there, but just not being given the chance. Sometimes we may see a person throwing a tantrum, like a toddler, to get what they want. This is because the toddler part learned that behaviour and has become the default part to surface when stressed. Or we may think that a person has not developed beyond the teenager stage and cannot act maturely and take responsibility. This is because the teenager is taking the dominant part, but it needs to be reassigned to an adult part who is able to take responsibility. Parts can be in conflict. For example, one part may want to go out, whilst another part feels anxious around people and wants to stay home. This conflict causes an inner argument that stops the person from enjoying life. In resource therapy, we facilitate a conversation between the parts to help them resolve their differences. Many people have suppressed emotions. Perhaps you were not allowed to express as a child, or you were harmed in some way and never had a chance to confront your perpetrator. This is inner child work, where we allow the child to express in a safe way, bring in a nurturer and healthy protector parts, and send the perpetrator away from the child's memory so that they feel safe. This is a gentle and loving way to heal childhood trauma and faulty programming that limited the person's growth. Sometimes the wrong part is present. Perhaps you are asked to talk in front of a group of people, and this makes you anxious, but at other times you are confident and capable. By reassigning the role to the confident part, the anxiety will disappear. As you can see, there are many ways that working with the parts can heal and rebalance the mind of a person. When the right parts are in place for the appropriate situations, life is much easier. In the process of working with parts, you will learn how to talk to your parts and call upon the right parts when you need them. But not everyone has had the opportunity to develop the parts they need. We may need to borrow parts from other people or situations and learn from them. If you had a cold and unloving childhood, you may not understand love. But you may have met a person or seen a movie where you could feel the love that person has. By taking on their characteristics, you can start to develop your own parts for love. This can be true for confidence, power, courage, strength, freedom, or any of the other healthy parts that we need to form as a well-balanced person. The process is to think of the experience that caused anxiety. As you bring that experience into the forefront, I then guide you into where you feel that in your body. This takes you away from the critical conscious mind and towards the inner self. From there we can go several ways depending upon the parts and type of healing that is required. We can sit the parts down and help them negotiate. We can regress back to the experience and heal the trauma. Or we can find the right part and reassign roles. Sometimes an addiction may be protecting several inner child traumas. All of these must be healed before the addiction can be reassigned to a different role and the right protector parts brought in. Doing resource therapy is sometimes described as burrowing around like a platypus. You are searching for the right parts to work on. The first part that speaks may be a reporter part complaining about another part. You then have to look for the relevant parts until you get to the source of the issue. There may be many parts involved, and it can get quite complex at times. Parts are given new names when they are reassigned. For example, a part may name themselves as afraid, but change that to happy when the issue is resolved. To end the process, we go back to the place where the original anxiety was felt in the body. If it is gone, we know that we have completed the process for today. If it is smaller, we know there is more work and we'll do the process again or save it for a follow-up session. Parts work is intensive, and so 1 hour is usually enough for one session. Because I am also a hypnotherapist, I will often finish the session by taking you into an energy cleansing guided meditation. The resource therapy process has already taken you into the subconscious, so it is easy to transition into a guided meditation to clear and rebalance the energy. I may also add some affirmations to support the parts that have been created in the session. Sessions are recommended at least a week apart to allow for the mind to adjust. We can also do parts mapping without therapy if desired. This is useful to get to know your parts and help you understand them so that you can work with them yourself. Couples may want to do parts mapping to learn about each other and understand why their parts are in conflict. They can do sessions alone and together to resolve marital issues. Our parts are our identity. Some are open to the world and others are hidden from view. Some are wonderful, whilst others were created from trauma and are triggered when we are stressed. We have positive and negative parts. The negative ones are in the wrong roles or are substituting for parts that are missing because we have not gained the right experiences yet. A person who has never experienced confidence cannot assert themselves. A person who has been suppressed cannot feel freedom. Our experiences have shaped us, but we do not have to be defined by them. We can work with our parts to bring them into a healthy and well-functioning team. This is the beauty of resource therapy. The benefit of resource therapy is that it can also be done online safely. As it is only an hour session, it is easy to manage. Because it has resolution in each session, there is no need for ongoing work. A client will find relief after one session. But there may be other parts that need assistance, so 2 to 3 sessions may be required. Resource therapy is not like counselling or psychology where you often need ongoing sessions to get results. Resource therapy can be done as needed to treat the anxiety in that session. The client is usually surprised at how quick the results are and how well they feel afterwards. I would say that resource therapy is truly transformational. It is a quick and inexpensive way to transform your life, but you must be ready to change for the process to work. If you are ready, book a session through my website, transformation5d.com. Should you want to understand resource therapy more, there are books written by Gordon Emerson about resource therapy. He is the founder of this therapy. If you are a therapist or psychologist and would like to train in resource therapy, the course is a 10-day online program. I am an accredited trainer and offer courses as requested. For more information and links, check out the description below.